We're going to take a look at Super Microcomputer here on the weekly chart. Nice 25% gain in here on the day. 34.66 is where we're ended up in here. We're right up against that $35 resistance. That's a big spot for us. That was a big resistance here at the end of last year and as early as February of this year. We climbed back in from these bottoms here all the way down at that $20 handle. So a nice little push in here over the past 2 months. Now going forward, where does that kind of put us here on this overall chart? Well, to the upside in here, obviously 35 is going to be a level that we need to breach and hold, but anything outside of there, we're focusing on this 50-day and this 200-day SMA. You can see they're moving right here. We're going to see if we start to get a little bit more of a separation in here from these two. You can see they squeeze down really, really hard in here with this 200-day running up to meet this 50-day SMA. But let's see if we start to kind of spray away here as we keep on climbing higher. Now to the downside, what are we looking at in here? Well, there's going to be a little hiccup here at the 32s, but really nothing is kind of stopping us from this $28 to $29 area in here. Huge support coming in the beginning of this year throughout all the way basically to the end of March in here. And that was a nice resistance for us here just a couple weeks ago. So that whole area is going to be our first main support in here. Anything outside of there, we're looking down here right around at that $27 level. Now, as far as our momentum indicators and things like that goes, basically neutral now because of that big pop that we had in here. We were relatively oversold compared to itself in here, but now we are back to neutral. We're going to see what tomorrow brings, but overall, just a nice, huge day in here for ticker symbol SMCI. That's Super Microcomputer. So let's see what happens in here as we go into tomorrow's trading session. We're also going to take a look at Meta in here. Obviously, we had a huge pop in AMD today. Obviously, coming off of earnings, we also had a sympathy play for NVIDIA as well, with a nice little pop in here coming off of those AMD earnings. Then overall, just good news in the market. Meta finally popped above 610, so we're trading down here at basically 613 right now. Going forward to the upside, what are we looking at? 9-day EMA sitting at 626. That's going to be our first resistance. Anything outside of there, we're going to chalk that up to right around that 639 mark. To the downside, we're going to be focusing on the 596, and then anything outside of there, 564. So overall, we still need to get some better movement in Meta. Obviously, kind of huge pullback off of those earnings from last week, still trying to recover. But overall, we're going to take what we can get in here, and we're just going to be happy with our percent gain that we had overall in Meta, and we are above those 610. So let's see if we can hold that as we continue throughout the rest of the weekend here. But any sort of news that comes to the downside with our overall markets, we kind of have to be wary of, since we are trading up in those 730s at the moment. So let's see what happens as we continue throughout the week. And then that is basically the levels that we're watching here for Super Microcomputer and Meta. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.